Warning. Warning. Warning, this video has opinions in it. Enter at your own risk.
Hello,
I have a few questions for you.
viewer. And I'm serious. You can pause the video after each question and answer in the comments below. Or don't, I'm not a cop. Question number 1. Have you, a Team Fortress 2 player, ever taken a moment to dress up your character? Have you ever looked at another person's loadout? Have you ever noticed what grade that person's hat is? Have you ever thought to yourself, dang, that's a cool hat. I want that hat. And then you go looking for it on the market or a third-party source and be surprised that it's a little bit more expensive than you thought it would be? You better be ready to pawn off your great-grandfather's wedding ring if you want to afford some of the more expensive hats. Put the ring down. Maybe I can craft that hat, you say to yourself, but alas, you cannot craft graded hats. Oh, maybe I can buy the crates online. No, those are even more expensive. Yeah, you see, I think there's a bit of a problem when it comes to graded cosmetics. And it can be boiled down to 3 simple problems: false rarity, limited time offer, and accessibility. I'll talk about false rarity first, since it's the lesser of the evils. This was one of the first problems that people noticed when graded hats were first added. It's the simple fact that some hats have a higher chance of being graded. Let's take the newest Winter 2022 cosmetic craze, for example. It has an 8% chance to drop a blue, a 2.1% chance to drop a purple, a 1% chance for pink, and a 0.5% chance for an elite. Granted, back in the olden days it was similar to this. Instead of blues, you got strange weapons, with the hats being dropped at a 5% chance. But overall, you didn't uncrate TF2 crates for the hats or the stranges or anything. You unboxed for the chance of the unusual. It's crazy how you have a statistically higher chance to unbox an unusual than an elite grade. What's crazy is that some of these elite grades are kind of, in my own opinion, garbage. Now, I've made it clear in the past that I'm not a 3D modeler, but some of these hats that have been chosen are questionable.
Some of the elite grades do not look like they belong in the elite grade category.
For example, if you were to look at these 2 hats right here and have zero idea what grade they were before, if I were to ask you to pick between which one was the elite grade, would you be able to? Well, congratulations, because this one is the elite grade. It's a shock to see that lesser grade hats are going for more on the market than the elite grade. I bring all this up mainly due to one thing. If you were to look at older hats before the graded system came into effect, what's one thing that you can do with them that you can't do with graded hats? You can craft them. Even with event crates like the Fall 2013 or any other crates beforehand, you can craft them. They were added to the hat crafting pool. For those of you who don't know, back in I think it was 2014, Valve added a limited summer crate, which was this huge event where it's like, oh, these hats can only be unboxed at this time, and you can only unbox this crate at this time, and if you don't do it now, then you're never going to get the hats. And it was quite popular. I'm sure they saw a big skyrocket in crates and keys and all that jazz to where they did it again for the, I think they did it for the Christmas time too. And then finally they said, hey, why don't we just take this idea and just make it forever? I think the biggest issue I have with the items is their limited accessibility. That also adds to their false rarity. Like once the case or event has stopped, that's it. No more cases are dropped. This has had the adverse effect of making hats way more expensive in the long run. Like the invasion crates. I remember back when the invasion crates first came out, they were being sold for 3 cents and the hats you were getting in them were like 12 cents. Like the Final Frontiersman went for like 10 cents a couple years back. And as of December 22nd of 2022, it is going for 40 cents. The only thing that's really missing from these hats are the limited yellow tagline that says limited. Some of these cases can only be dropped for a few months or even weeks with Halloween cases. And that's it. Like if you look at the gargoyle cases, there's only 340 left. And all of them are going for like $6 due to some of the items that are. Now, of course, this doesn't apply to all crates. There are some Halloween crates that still have a couple thousand on the market, and because some of the hats are inside of it aren't as popular, they aren't being sold as much. This also applies to war paint cases and weapon cases. Like the early weapon cases are becoming more and more rare because everybody's unboxing them. In no time at all, there will be no cases left to unbox.
Gone. Reduced to atoms.
I asked Reddit what they thought about a solution to the problem, and most have agreed that having them be a super rare drop or an uncommon drop, kind of like the salvage crates, are a good alternative. However, I think adding some alternative to crafting graded hats would also be a fine addition to the game. Have it be you need 6 refined metal to craft a graded hat or something. Finally, so I think the main problem I see with cases is that they're hard to get access to. Once the event is over, that's it, no more cases dropped, as I previously stated. I think adding them as a rare drop would help alleviate this problem, since most people seem to not care much about the hats, but the unusual effects or the more uncommon hats like the assassin grades or the elite grades. I can see all the cases becoming rarer and more valuable. I generally think that graded hats are good and help keep the game alive. And while some of the hats that have been added are disliked by certain people in the community, I don't have that big of a problem with them. My main problem isn't even the hats, but more so the cases. As you can tell with this video, it can be a bit of a vicious cycle. It starts with them being a limited time drop, to everyone unboxing them, and after a while, the cases start to rise in price, causing the hats to rise with them. Then it goes back to everyone buying the crates and unboxing them, and the prices rise again. And eventually, no more cases. We haven't seen this problem quite yet, but within a year or two, I can almost guarantee that the invasion cases or the Pyroland cases will cease to exist. I do apologize if this video seemed to be all over the place. This is the first time I've actually written a script for a video, and spent more than a few days on editing and collecting clips. So, I'm sorry that it's not all put together. Thank you for watching.